Titus 2. I'm going to read 1, and then I'll go down to 3 to 5.
Okay.
But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed.
So again, an upright man will upgrade you. Okay. Some of us need to be upgraded. Okay. It's like if you will, like a computer. Okay, if you want to take an analogy somewhere, some of us need to be upgraded. There's some things that we just need to improve. We need to, cut out. We need to, you know, um, because we're like again like receivers, okay? Or if you will, like a plant. I always gonna refer to that plant in the garden because we've been farming lately. So we are that plant. We will, respond or give off a response to what we receive. Okay. Um, so within this title for tonight, not saying it's all cut and dry and not with all situations, right? But do you need to be upgraded? Is there still any guilt or fault found in us? Okay. In your processing unit. These are things that need to be upgraded, okay, or deleted. Um, whether you're married, single, or courting, every one of us, we have a head. Someone is in downloading that information into you, right? And Israel, we learn by example. Okay. We have examples throughout the whole book. Okay. We don't we learn by actions, by seeing, by doing. Okay. And that's what Hamashiach came here to do, to show us, right? So, anyways, um, an upright man is person of morals, integrity, honesty. Okay. They are reliable and trustworthy, good. They're kind in speech and actions. Okay. And this again is not just talking. We know this because Christ, right, would be the head of our husband, our leadership, right? And he walked in those ways.
Psalms 32 and 2. Blessed is the man unto whom the Most High imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile.
All right, First Timothy 3, 1 through 12. This is a true saying: if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, no striker, not greedy or of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous. One that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? Not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride he fall into the condemnation of the devil. 7. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into the reproach and the snare of the devil. Likewise, must the deacons be grave, not double tongued, not given too much wine, not greedy of filthy lucre, holding the mystery of the faith in pure conscience. And let these also first be proved, then let them use the office of a deacon, being found blameless. Even so, must their wives be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. Let the deacons be the husbands of one wife, ruling their children in their own house as well.
And the water says, so that was a mouthful. And again, building on the topic, an upright man will upgrade you. And so we're reading about this man that is supposed to be upright and the traits of an upright man. Okay. And so we read down all the way too, because after we read these traits here, talking about, and first of all, let me get real quick because people like to act a little bit, you know, how people, a bishop is somebody that's over the church. Okay. A deacon is a teacher or a pastor, a teacher. And so I say that because although maybe, you know, the brother you're courting or your husband might not be the bishop over the church and he's technically not behind the pulpit, he is to teach you and teach his household. So, and then in 10, it goes to say in verse 10, it says, and let these also first be proved. And then, okay, because we don't just go around calling ourselves upright, righteous, or anything like that. That has to be shown and proven. People have to see it, right? In 11, it says, even so their wives must be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. So it's saying now, after you read all of that about what the deacon and the bishop, the men must do, that you must also be the same way. You see that? So it's not just them, right? And so this is why the title is an upright man. A man like this will upgrade you. He will show you, nurture you into these things. Maybe you already came packaged up, buttoned up, and already had all these attributes. You were grave, not a slanderer, you were the tightest too. Maybe you did. But for a lot of us, we came up out of the world that didn't have these things. And so we're coming back into learning how to hold our tongue, when to speak, when to be quiet, right? Not be a brawler, not be quick to want to fight. Okay. All these things. And so a man that your head, if he has these attributes, if he is patient, if your head is patient with you, what is that going to teach you? What is that going to pour into you? For somebody that is not patient at all. I am so impatient. But if your head is patient with you, if you're in the spirit, that's going to rub off on you, right? It's going to rub off on you. Okay. All right. If your husband is an alcoholic, a lot of the times, like we see people, we're going to fashion what, you know, what we see in our head. Not again, not all the time, but I've seen it a lot, especially in Israel. Like a lot of the times, if you're the loud mouthed woman out there drinking and carrying on and half drunk, and your husband allows it, you see what I'm saying? You haven't been upgraded. You haven't been upgraded. And so where's that upright man to do so? Again, not cut and dry, because sometimes there are some men that are linked up with women that they just can't control. Okay. But we're talking about the ones that want to be upgraded, that want to be nurtured. Okay. That have room for growth. Okay. And that your head is actually doing what he's supposed to do. Take the upgrade. Don't stay on Windows 10. There's 11. There's 12. Okay. All right.
Genesis 26:5. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
Genesis 18 and 19. For I know him, that he will command his children in his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he had spoken of him.
He will command his household. I know that man. He upright and he gonna command his household. Why? Because he leading in the right way. He leading by example.
Genesis 17:5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. Chapter 15, or excuse me, verse 15. And the Most High said unto Abraham, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
And so I brought that up again, just rolling back and building our case here that Abraham was this upright man. And because he was upgraded, the Most High upgraded him, right? So to speak, put him in a place of stature. He was father of many nations. Your name shall no more be called Abram, but Abraham, father of many nations. And because Sarah is now the wife to this upright man, okay, and upgraded because she followed after, I'm not going to jump the gun, followed after him in these upright ways, okay, her name was then called Sarah. Sarah is in the Strong's, I believe it's H82, which is a mistress or a noble female, right? A
Sarah.
prince. What you said?
I was just saying, I think they pronounce it in her Hebrew, Sarah.
Come on. A
I
princess
think.
or a queen. She was upgraded. She was upgraded in that way. She now became the mother of nations. Okay? The mother of nations. You see what happens now? Like that plant now get receiving, okay, the response to all that receiving she got. Now she's the mother of nations now because of this upright man, right? Sister Yeshua, you could go ahead with that.
Okay, 1 Peter 3:5-6. For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in God adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
Fine. He led righteously. He led not in just words, but with action. As Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. Lord, sisters, Lord is like saying sir, if you will, or master. You know, it's a respectful title. It's a respectful title. So she had a lot of respect and reverence for this man because he followed God. When you follow God, then you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Upgraded successfully. Download complete. Okay. You can't go wrong. And that's why I tell my single sisters all the time to take your time to prove because you have things that you need to work on yourself, in yourself, right? And for us in marriages, we need to continue working on ourselves and continue to be upgraded. Last year, I didn't have any patience. This year, I got a little bit, but you ain't there fully. You know what I mean? Whatever it is for you, sis, whatever it is. I don't know why Jacob and is it Jacob Jacob and Rachel, was it Rachel? Jacob and Rachel, right?
Rachel, Leah, Jacob.
Right. I don't know why they're jumping out to me. Like just because what kind of qualities or morals, I might be saying the wrong word. What kind of man do you have to be to ask for a daughter's hand, but yet you didn't get it because you had to work 7 years to get her? Like, what kind of discipline, You know what I'm saying? And you could, and like they're around there fooling around. So what are you showing this woman you were trying to court by putting your head to the plow? You see what I'm saying? This was an upright man. What do you think Rachel was learning from watching him do this? And we all know Jacob was the father of the 12 um tribes, the nation, right? So he was already a man of God, right? You see what I'm saying? I don't know why that jumped out at me.
Well, that was his blessing for the commitment that he made. The Most
Commitments.
High blessed him with multitude of seed because he was willing to make that commitment. And then
Commitments.
he also was in turn done very wrong by his father-in-law because he never wanted Leah. He wanted Rachel. But he went
Right,
ahead and was a good sport about it and was like, all right.
right, right.
So, you know.
You know, he got played, but he still went ahead and worked another 7 years. You said the right word. Like, you know how people be saying that they've been on their job for 20 years? Girl, I wish. No, I don't. But like a lot of people be on their job for like 10, 15, 20, 30 years. I'd be like, that is like a marriage. That is commitment. That
Mhm.
is more than just this. What's the word? Like, y'all know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a level of commitment and just follow through and
Endurance, stamina, willpower, all that.
right, right. So he had all of that. And I'm sure she was over there like, this man is committed. You can imagine? Just put yourself in Rachel's shoes for a second. Like, this man is committed. He ain't gonna stop. He could have stopped a year ago. He out here in this sun with these cows. You know what I'm saying? 7 years. Listen, this man is committed. I know that he's a fighter, he's a warrior, he's not gonna just give up quickly. You know what I'm saying? That's all those things you're learning from him that you're downloading into you now. That's teaching you to be committed, patient. Oh my goodness, patience? 14 years that she had to wait. 14 years? Come on now. Come on, patience. Come on, patience. Okay. Um, So yes, an upright man will upgrade you. And then she became, the mother of some of the 12. Okay. That is honorable. That is honorable. Her name is in the history books. Okay. Um,
I just want to say something about that because you said you don't know why it was on your mind, but I was looking through. So Genesis 31 and 42 says, except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God had seen mine affliction and the labor of my hands and rebuked thee yesternight. So anyway, I'm stuck on that because it's just showing that he had the fear. This is that upright man. He had the fear of Yah, so he stuck and did what he needed to do. He went through affliction and labor, like you said, the 7 years for the daughter
mm,
plus the 7 additional years. And so
mhm,
that's just showing an upright man. He could have left. He
mhm,
could have left, but he stayed. He
mhm.
stayed for what he wanted, and he stayed because
Con,
because he needed to. But
con. What,
mhm.
and again, what does that teach the woman? That he is patient, long suffering. He's, willing. What's the other word? You just said it. Committed. He doesn't give up easily, right? He had faith, all these things. That does something to the receiving in us. You know what I'm saying? A man that is a protector, which he should be, okay? A man that is a protector and nourishes your spirit, that woman will tend to be what? More ready to be open, right? Okay. You're ready to be more open and received, to be more soft. I hear a lot of the men talking about the women need to be more soft. Well, again, not cut and dry in every situation, but a lot of times, what is that plant receiving? What is she receiving to go ahead and be soft, right? Maybe she has to be upgraded. A lot of the times that comes with, you know, what is her leader doing to help her in that way? What kind of process is being downloaded? Okay. Um, Con. Okay. A lot of the times we tend to always find ourselves, a lot of sisters, I've been here too, we're in kind of like a survival mode, um, where we have to take up the responsibility or feel like we have to, we've had to be the breadwinner and the everything in the house at one point. But even in a relationship now, there's a lot of that still there, right? So it's like carrying the weight. Somebody that's a provider now. You see how that goes? If you have a provider now, he will upgrade you. Once you see, okay, he handling this, that, all the other, okay, I could I could actually take care of the home now. I could actually let my hair down a little bit because I ain't so uptight worrying about, you know what I mean? Okay. And again, you might have this provider right now. You might have this provider right now. And that means relinquish some of that which you think that you have to take responsibility of. Relinquish it. You don't have to fend for yourself. You don't have to find water, dig your roots lower to find nothing. No, he's giving it to you. He's doing it. We need to accept it and receive it. Let's be on the receiving end. We are receivers. There's a male end and there's a female end. Let us receive. Okay. Um, but yes, like someone that knows how to, I don't, you know what? A lot of our brothers are, I'm always hearing things about how the men are so simple, 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 simple. All they need is this, this, and this, right? The three S's or whatever it is. Okay. But I want to go as far out and say women are just as simple. We just require stability. We require, leadership, consistency. Consistency is key. I mean, if you keep dropping the ball all the time, you expect me, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna get in panic mode. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring back out the survival bag. That's be natural. That's only natural. It's like when things going chaotic, it's only natural for the workers, the followers, to like try to fill in the blanks and stuff like that. You guys said something, Sister Zaparia?
No, I was just gonna land back off of what you were saying. That's why a lot of us feel like we are in spaces where we don't necessarily need to be upgraded because we've been in survival mode for so long that we've done all of the tangible upgrades and now we've crossed over into the truth. And there are a lot of great upright sisters who are in that book, in this Bible, doing their scriptures, doing the healing work, doing their charity. They really are doing it. And it's just the curses, there's just not a lot of upright men available in these last days. And even if you are interested in being in poly, even that process is a whole process in itself. You have to prepare to be a part of someone's household, and
Yeah.
let alone trying to be in a monogamous relationship to be a good fit. Poly is like doubling down. Now I got to
Yeah.
be a good fit for him and her. Like,
Yeah.
it so you find yourself in this space of just, what, let me just hold my peace and be here.
Hey.
And then on the flip side of that, you find some brothers that have not done the work. And then they come to you like, I'm such this upright guy. No, you're not. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, I'm not
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not willing to give this up for this. No, you know,
Yeah.
don't get me on my soapbox, girl, because I could go round and
No,
round.
I get what you're saying though. And sometimes, like you said, sometimes just sit back and being there is just where some of us need to be. Because although we might think, and again, it's upgraded for the female, right? Although we might think that we upgraded or we're being upgraded, the most I might be saying is still work to do. Or,
Of
there's
course.
something, we don't know. So in that season where we are, girl, listen, and let me tell you, when I tell people all the time, stay with what is it? What does the scripture say? Um,
Stay
in
sober, be vigilant.
Sober vigilant, but in your patience possession your souls. We just don't know. So it's like we not leaning on our own understanding as far as that goes, because it's different when we have single sisters being single and upgrading themselves because Christ is their head. They have good leadership. And then it's different now when you enter into a marriage, trying to apply all these things that you thought you upgraded. Well, that I don't need that. Well, let me put this to use now and see how far this will go. Oh goodness, I only know how to hush my mouth for 2 seconds. I need to learn how to do it for 2 hours. Like I'm just, you know what I mean? This situation
Yeah.
don't call for that. Let me dress back. Like now we got to put it in action, and that is muy difícil, very difficult in a marriage. Okay. Um.
I was looking at First Samuel 1 because we're talking about Hannah and Peninnah,
Mhm.
right? Okay,
I mean,
anyway,
yeah.
yeah, thank you. Tawada, Elkanah's wife. So what I wanted to read here or point out here was the upright part of him. So it says here, let me say, I'll just go to 4. And when the time that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife and all her sons and her daughters portions. But to Hannah, he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb. So, right, we're Rachel, Leah kind of thing. But I want to jump down to number 8 because this upright man, if you want your wife to be a little more compassionate, you show compassion, right? So 8, it says, Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, well, let me go to 7, I'm sorry. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, and so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat, right? Sad because she couldn't have a baby. 8, then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah, 9, Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh and after they had drunk. And then it just talks about Eli the priest. But my point is that's your upright man right there, right? He's showing her compassion. He understands why she's grieving, but he puts her in a good spirit. She decides to
Right.
go eat and drink regardless. So I just wanted to bring that out as another upright
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
Mhm.
The water for bringing that out. Again, sisters ready to walk away, ready to throw in the towel, always on edge or withdrawn. Again, that upright man will teach you, right? If he's walking in, what does he need to be? He needs to be understanding, show some compassion, right? What it says, be empathetic. So he might not know exactly how you feel. So it's sympathetic then. Sympathetic to your feelings. Cause it's a thing. Not just shooting it down. I mean, what does that do to somebody when you shut down their emotions? And we are the weaker vessel. We are in our emotions a lot of the times, and we carry it with us like a pocketbook sometimes. But for that upright man to say, okay, all right, I got you. That's all we need. Again, we simple. We can be simple, brothers. Okay, we can be simple, sisters. It's just that simple. A lot of the times we are crying out for just reassurance, affirmation, understanding, just being able to talk. You see what I'm saying? Not feel neglected and disrespected or feeling like I couldn't even say what I was feeling. I mean, think about it with a child. When you shut a child down for speaking up or speaking out, and then wonder why later on they have issues with that or how to come and communication. They don't know how to communicate because they were never able to verbalize how they feel, what they were feeling, or it was being shut down. You see what I'm saying? Lack of communication. Exactly. All right. But this upright man, he knows how to tiptoe and all right, when to give, when to take, when to give you your space, or know that okay, when you say you ain't hungry, that just means that all right, give me some chicken wings. Like it's you know what I'm saying? This we tend not to communicate when it feels someone is dismissive or unable to read a room. Okay. So we have a lot of work to do on ourselves, but again, the title was an upright man will upgrade you. We can learn a lot, okay? And we have to be willing to receive and download and start that process. But we have to look for these attributes. You know that you're quick your mouth, quick with this. You're a cup half full person rather than so what is that? Pessimistic. You know those things about yourself. So somebody should be filling you. So somebody should be on the opposite end. Somebody should be pouring into you the things that will fill in the blanks to help you. You see what I'm saying? Two
And
pessimistic people don't need to, you know what I mean? It,
and it's not
yeah,
because he wants to change you. It's just he's
exactly.
an upright man is supposed to be the person who is gonna remind you and push you to be your higher
Right,
self,
right.
your
Hence the
higher
upgraded.
perfect self. And
Exactly.
he's not gonna he's not gonna find a way to he's basically just gonna lead by example.
You can.
Okay. And earn the respect from you. And
That's
also,
why
an
Sarah,
upright man is somebody who's not only going to be pushing you to your higher self, but he should be able to push anyone who's in his inner
right,
circle to their higher self as well.
right, right,
Uh, and then those
right.
people who are around him, that should be a contagious
Mm-hmm,
attribute that they aspire to want to be,
mm-hmm,
because they
mm-hmm.
look to him and say, look at this brother. He's so, not to say he's so perfect, but just he's
I,
always striving. He's always got his good works. Like,
right,
he does what he says he's going to do. The fruits are there and everybody can see it.
exactly.
Um, Upgrading you is not material, like you said.
No,
It's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's physical. Um,
exactly.
mentally, a upright man is supposed to make us elevate our mindset to be able to give us another perspective on how
Right,
to look at things.
right,
Uh, the same, and then emotionally, the same way that we are supposed to bring him peace, he is also supposed to bring us peace.
right,
Like this whole "be my peace" is so one sided, but it actually goes both ways, because if we
right,
are to be equally yoked, it's equally yoked. The scripture says it, equally yoked. That means, you get peace, I get peace. Not just
right.
I'm continually bringing you peace and now I'm drained because I'm giving you all this peace. Like, you know,
You know, no, you're right. You're right because how it works together. And it says reverence each other, but the yin have to go with the yang. Maybe that's a bad term, but everybody has to bring 100,
in the scriptures, we would just say just balance. Right? In
exactly.
Leviticus, they talk about the weights and the just balances. That's what it is. It would be equal.
Yeah,
Knowing that
like
he's the head, but you know, he's uplifting himself by uplifting you.
you, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's yeah, exactly.
And then even in that emotional part of it too, you know, he's not playing no games with you.
Right,
He's not trying to manipulate you or trick you into being submissive, that comes natural.
It's natural. I don't care what anybody says. It is natural,
Yeah.
especially when you have the perfect example and it's consistent.
Hmm.
Because we'll see through those lines and then tend to, you know what I mean? I think this is a saying out somewhere, and again, this is not cut and dry and all over the place, but it's like if your wife is not going the way you would have her, sometimes you got to look at yourself. You got to look within. You know what I mean? And
Hello.
I think it
Okay.
goes back to the beam in the eye. Like if you go and laugh, if you go and laugh, and this is not all the time, but back to what you were saying as far as the peace, yes, we have supposed to bring a peace, but it's like, are you creating a safe place for me to be vulnerable, for me to be submissive? Is there always like are you a what do you call it, a lion in the home at times? Is there a lot of disruption? Is there all this
Is there a
stuff
lot of problems?
inconsistencies, unfaithfulness, all these things. So this is why we're talking about this upright man. He would not be doing these things, but creating that safe space for you to be soft, creating a place for you to be vulnerable and be able to be soft spoken and speak. Because when they say
Uh-huh.
quiet, quiet don't mean you run around with your hand on your mouth all day. It's knowing when and how to speak. And there's a time and place. That's what that means. Okay. No one went to be quiet, yes, but no one also went to speak, but how to speak. And there's a time to speak and that it needs to come out a certain way. And all these things need to be, we need to see from you, just like they see from Hamashiach. He was their example, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So Sirach chapter 39 says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences, and be conversant in dark parables. He shall serve among great men, and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men. He will give his heart to resort early to the Most High that made him, and he will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sins. When the great power will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences, and give thanks unto the Adawan in his prayer. He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate. He shall show forth that which he hath learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Most High. Many shall commend his understanding, and so long as the world endureth, it shall not be blotted out. His memorial shall not depart away, and his name shall live from generation to generation. Nations shall show forth his wisdom, and the congregation shall declare his praise. And if he die, he shall leave a great name than 1,000. If he live, he shall increase it. Hallelujah.
Psalms 32, 6 to 11. For this shall every one that is godly pray unto thee in a time when thou mayest be found. Surely in the floods of great waters they shall not come nigh unto him. Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance, Selah. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. Be ye not as the horse or as the mule which has no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, lest they come near unto thee. Many sorrows shall be of the wicked, but he that trusteth in the Lord, mercy shall compass him about. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, ye righteous, and shout for joy, all ye that are upright in heart.
All you that are upright in heart. And that was it tonight, sisters. For an upright man will upgrade you. And with that, we hope to see you again, same time, same
Same
place,
place, same
same
beauty.
beauty. Chase
Chase
made is
Face
made
made
is
our
is
our
our
It's our duty,
duty.
duty.
our
duty. That's
duty.
what's
That
up,
was a good
sisters.
class. Yay. I love
All
it.
praises.
Shalom.
Shalom, sisters. Love y'all.
Shalom.
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 Shalom.